This is the Performing Songwriter, and my name is Ray Naylor. My guest today is Emily Barnes. She's a full-time touring artist and has 3 recordings to her name. Her latest album released just a few months ago. In May 2017, Emily was a finalist in the new Kerrville Folk Festival's New Folk Songwriting Contest, one of the most prestigious in the country. I'll be back shortly to talk to Emily, but first, here she is to sing one of her original songs.
The song is Into the Dawn.
And I can't turn off the switch when the light bulb goes off. It feels just like this. And you and I, the plaster is set in my weary bones. They're on the mend again. So come feed me serendipity. Keep coming for me, 'cause I am hungry for good morning sun and good morning moon, good morning sweet Adirondack. Sing me your songs high up into the dawn. So far gaze lifted from this journey I'm on. And I can see it all clear, 'cause I've washed the windows, pulled the curtains, my dear. The storm clouds, they're lifting off the rolling sea. My temperament's shifting, setting me free. Come feed me serendipity. Keep coming for me, 'cause I am hungry. Good morning sun and good morning moon, good morning sweet Adirondack. Sing me your songs high up into the dawn. So far gaze lifted from this journey I'm on. And it's good morning sun and good morning moon, good morning sweet Adirondack gloom. Sing me your songs high up into the dawn. So far gaze lifted from this journey I'm on.
Emily, welcome to the Performing Songwriter.
Thank you for having me.
Well, thank you for driving 2 hours from northern Jersey through the turnpike was busy today, huh?
It was quite busy, a lot of road work, but that's okay.
Now, I was reading that you learned guitar at age 16.
Yes.
So I wanted to ask you, number one, are there other instruments you play? I think you play keyboards, don't you?
I do, yes.
And also, when did you start writing songs?
Well, I play a variety of instruments. that I taught myself. So I play ukulele, piano, guitar, or a few that you'll see just at a show, a little bit of banjo. But I started writing my own songs right away. So I locked myself in my room and learned a couple chords and started putting poetry to music. And it all started from getting a mixtape that had some Brandi Carlile on it, and I loved her, and I still do to this day. I have all of her albums, and so I was like, I want to write my own songs. I don't want to sing someone else's, so I just went for it.
Well, we heard that first song, which is great, and you're such a good songwriter.
Thank you.
Now, you were a finalist at the Kerrville Folk Festival.
Yes.
And I wanted to mention, and you, there were about 30, as I remember, there are 32 finalists.
Yes.
And there's 6 winners. Now, you weren't chosen as a winner, but I wanted to read some of the people that have been there, and these are not all winners.
Yes, great.
Nancy Griffith, Lyle Lovett, John Gorka, Hal Ketchum, Jimmy LaFave, Buddy Monlock, Pierce Pettis, Carrie Newcomer, Tom Kimmel, who we talked about it before the show.
We talked about him.
And not all these people were winners, and they went on. So.
Actually, most of them I think weren't winners, which is kind of funny. But it's an interesting thing because when you usually do a competition, you go in wanting to win something naturally, even if you're not a competitive person. But the Kerrville Folk Festival squashes all of that. You immediately get there and you have 32 family members, or 31, I guess, because you're the 32nd.
Right.
And when it comes to announcing the winners, you're not sad and you're not upset. You're actually really excited for your new friends that you stay in touch. It's just the most incredibly humbling and just wonderful musical experience I think any artist can have. To be amongst such great songwriters who are also kind people. I mean,
did you camp?
I did. Yep, tent camped.
Any problem with red fire ants?
There are quite a lot of fire ants there, but I didn't personally have any problems in my campsite. It rained one night, and my tent was a little wet, but that's all part of the Kerrville experience.
It sure is. I was there 2 times, and one time I got totally rained out of my tent.
It's not bad, though. It's kind of fun. I mean, you all just you huddle under whatever dry space there is and swap songs, and
right.
It's just a great experience. Everyone should go.
That's true. A couple shows ago, Joe Jenks was a guest. You know Joe?
Yes.
Yeah. And like yourself, Joe's been touring for 18 years, and you tour a lot. And I was reading sometime in the last year, over 6 months, you were in 30 states.
Yep.
Talk a little bit about the pros and cons of, other people that probably watch the show, performers that, boy, I'd like to start touring. What would be advice you give to them in terms of like a realistic view of the singer-songwriter driving around the country in their car?
The realistic view is everything always is more romantic of a vision until you do it. I mean, I think it's beautiful. I wouldn't want to do anything else. I absolutely love the career path I've chosen and the way I've chosen to do it. I don't stay in hotels most of the time. I travel in my van or tent camp or crash on friends' couches. But, I mean, the real side of it is it's scary. You're alone. Sometimes you don't make it on time because there's traffic or things happen, shows get canceled. You are almost out of money. I mean, there's shows that are supposed to be what we call anchor gigs that are, the ones that are supposed to help you get to the next few spots to try a new place that gets rained out or for whatever reason people don't show up, there's another event in town or there's a bigger songwriter coming through. Whatever factors into it, and there's a lot that does. But I think it's when you lose sight of the end goal, whatever your end goal is, that it's not fun anymore. Mm-hmm. And for me, that's never happened because I make my living playing music. So for me, it's better than I ever expected it to ever turn out. But it's hard. I mean, there's no easier way to put it other than it's hard. You're going to show up, there's going to be nobody there. Then you'll have a show where everybody comes, and then you'll have a night where you have nowhere to sleep or whatever the case may be. So you have to just be really prepared for unexpected circumstances because it's going to happen just like anything else in life. I mean, it's real life. It's not what you see on TV, I guess, and what's portrayed. It's hard.
Now, right now you live in a rural part of New Jersey.
Yes.
But you're moving to Colorado, right outside of Denver.
Yes, I am.
But what I wanted to ask you, is there any disadvantage for, let's say, a performing songwriter, singer-songwriter, to live in a rural area as opposed to live more towards an urban area where there might be a music scene?
You know, that's a tricky question. I've been fortunate to be very close with the other few songwriters we have in close proximity, and also, even though I'm in probably one of the smallest towns in New Jersey, I'm still close enough to get to New York City, Philadelphia, Boston, DC, all of those places, and definitely within a day. I mean, the maximum is a 4.5 hour drive. So I am still close to a lot of really great musical communities. It could be challenging. What's more challenging for me is having a lack of venues to go see music in, because I mean, as an artist, you draw inspiration from other artists that you follow and you've listened to. So it's tough because, I mean, you can't just go on a Monday night on a whim somewhere to catch live music. You have to plan it out. You have to drive a couple hours and, you know, really plan it. So for me, that's more challenging. But I wouldn't necessarily say it's a bad thing, because sometimes I think it's better to be a big fish in a small pond, to start out and kind of dip your toe in the water, than to be a small fish in a big pond where, I mean, everyone's already doing it and you might not always know how to get into the scene that's there. For the most part, folk music is pretty friendly, but it can be intimidating when you have all of these people that you admire and look up to and would like to be doing that as well, and it's a hard thing to approach. So I found it to be, I mean, I didn't mind it. This is my whole music career has only been in this little tiny town, so make it work.
Okay, yeah. And you drive 2 miles to go to an internet show. 2 hours to drive to go to an internet show.
But I like driving too. It's therapeutic for me.
Yeah.
It's quiet, and you see a lot of beautiful things while driving through this country. So
we're going to hear some more of your songs. But before we do that, I'm going to play a portion of a video of our next guest in a couple of weeks. And he is from Skippack, which is in Pennsylvania, not too far from here. His name is Matthew Gordon, and this particular song is about a place in West Virginia. Maybe you've been there. If we can pronounce it right. Clendenin.
I've not been there.
Clendenin, West Virginia. That's the name of the song. So Matthew Gordon will watch this. You'll be back to do some of your songs.
Well, thank you so much. About growing up and growing apart. It's called Hold Me.
Hold me tight like a baby, newborn scared, brittle and shaking. Tell me you love me, fall asleep tomorrow, and oh, the ride's home, listening to the stereo outside our comfort zones, disappear into the atmosphere that we gazed upon when our skies were clear. And I don't expect you to understand, even though you're the only one who cared to listen to my heart, even when it pained you to hear. Growing up, it's much harder than I planned. I understand we're growing out like ivy on a branch, and I don't want you to pain yourself in the process of holding on, 'cause life's too damn short, but it's so damn long. So hold me tight like a baby, newborn scared. You've already saved me.
So I just released a new record, Letting the Light, and this is a song that I put on there last minute, because I wrote it on the road last summer after the album was in production. But when you spend a long time out there, it gets kind of lonely, so I decided to write a song about it. This one's called Alongside Lonely.
Everything always comes slow, waiting for the break in the waves, but you're stuck in the undertow. Nothing ever comes quickly. Everything's quietly known, waiting on the right side of the swing of the pendulum. Oh, oh. Oh, but it's not all it's cracked up to be when your only friend is lonely, but it's quiet company when you're living alongside lonely. Nothing is ever certain. Everything breaks and then mends, waiting to catch up in the game, but the pace is never slow. Oh, oh. pick up, the wind to pick up. I am waiting for the wind to pick up, the wind to pick up in my eyes. 'Cause it's night, all it's cracked up to be when your only friend is lonely, but it's quiet, quiet company when you're living alongside lonely. So this song is a new one called Alternate Route, and it's about taking the long way and being okay with it. Give me the alternate route. The one with the most scenic views. Might add an hour, it might add a year. I don't mind getting lost out here. Give me the detour, you can take the highway. Give me the back roads along the scenic byway. Give me open hands and an open mind. I'm getting nowhere fast and I don't mind. So give me the alternate route. The one with the most scenic views. Might add an hour, it might add a year. I don't mind getting lost out here. Give me a fast strike to a happy heart. Give me a straight shot to the wilderness so I can come apart. It's a beautiful breakdown. Let me get lost, 'cause I don't wanna be found. Despite the crushing blows, all this crushing dose, we can mend our souls if we learn to take it slow. And give me the alternate route. The one with the most scenic views. Might add a year. I don't mind getting lost out here.
So that was a slide of some of the future shows coming up in the next couple of months. So hope you join us. You came out, we have 2-year records, but your newest record, I mean, kind of take this up, it's called Let the Light In. And there it is.
Let in the light, but...
What is it? Let in the light.
It's okay. It's tough to read the phone.
Sorry, I must have dyslexia, I think, or something. But I wanted to read a quote about your CD, because it was kind of cool, by Jamin Robosh, did I say his name right? From Divide and Conquer. And he says, Emily Barnes is more than just a musician. She is a storyteller that sets the lives of her characters to music. Her sophomore release, Let in the Light, should be required reading and listening for anyone who is feeling or has ever felt fractured by life. Now, you recorded this in a cabin, right?
Yes, and actually another singer-songwriter, he's, who also I used to be in a duo with, Mike Hers. We recorded it we started it in his, he had this beautiful like house on a hill that had like these barns in the back. So we started some of the initial recording process there and then completed it. He got this quaint, it's like a tiny house. I mean, this little cabin in the woods near us, and wow, the creativity just flows in a space that's like every songwriter's dream is to be able to record somewhere like that. So yes, most of it was done at home between that and Don Sternecker over at Mixolydian and the Delaware Water Gap. He's a great friend.
The thing I liked about it, while there are some different instruments, it's a lot of voice and guitar, and it reminds me of some of the. Well, first of all, it reminds me of Woody Guthrie. I mean,
awesome! Wow.
I mean, when he played his guitar and he played his voice. There weren't any like backup bands with him, that, at least I'm familiar with most of it. And some of the early folk revival in the '60s, I'm thinking like Phil Oak's first record. It was his guitar and his voice, and I think he had another guitar player to kind of do lead guitar, and that was it. So it really brings it back to the basics.
Oh, thank you.
And it just gives it a real nice sound. In addition to the fact that you have a wonderful voice and your songs are very well written. So and I assume that was your idea in terms of the CD.
It was. My first album, Beautiful Goodbyes, is very, very acoustic, like even more so than the first one. So there is kind of sometimes this little bit of pressure because everyone's putting out full studio productions and everything. So I wanted a little bit of that for a couple of the songs, just to break it up. But for the most part, my whole concept with this album was to make it less is more. Because when somebody comes to a show, I don't have a band. That's not to say I never will, but at this point I don't. I'm touring solo. It's my guitar and I, sometimes a harmonica or piano. So I wanted to keep these songs really true to the sentiment, how they were written, and how they're kind of intended to be heard when somebody's coming out to see me perform. And I always feel that the music I tend to lean towards and the songwriters who I love keep it pretty simple. The lyrical aspect to it always stands out for me the most.
Well, it shows that you can do a recording like that very, very simply in the sense of terms of instrumentation, and people really, and you've gotten a really good response on it. I know the next time if I ever do one, or even one song, it's going to be done here with a very amateur producer and engineer, which you're looking at him, because I can't afford it at this point any more than that. You know what I mean?
I think that we're all in the same boat with the financial end of things. It's expensive. This saves on some costs. Lets it be a little more unique too. I think.
I think so. Now we're recording this August 1st, 2017. So for people that are watching, let's say in August or even September, what are not just mention a few of the gigs that you might be coming up, and in case people live in that area, they can check it out and maybe come out.
Wonderful. So I'm leaving August 10th. I'm starting a little tour with Kelly Hoppenjans, who was another Kerrville New Folk finalist this year. So we did it together. So we're doing playing Light Club Lamp Shop in Burlington, Vermont on August 10th, and then the 11th we're playing Kashong Creek in Geneva, New York. And then the 12th, I'm doing the Roscoe Singer-Songwriter Festival. So, and then a little bit later on into September, I'm doing the 1867 Sanctuary at Ewing, which is like a beautiful old church venue. I have a show in New York City on September 15th. I'm doing a show with another singer-songwriter, Son of Dove, has a great online following, good friend of mine, on August 18th in Somerville. So I have a bunch of stuff coming up. Then I'll be in Texas at the end of September for some shows with some other of my Kerrville friends. So,
are you you have a website so people want to see where you're playing all the other shows too?
Yes.
What is your website?
It's emilybarnesmusic.com.
And people can get your CDs through there?
You can buy CDs through there. You can send me a note if you have a question or you want to make a comment, any of those kind of things. I always love getting mail. So I have that on there, my tour schedule, live videos. This will be up there once it's aired. So.
Okay, Emily Barnes.
Thank you.
Thank you very much for coming on. Love your music.
Thank you. Thanks for having me.
And we'll be back in a couple of weeks with Matthew Gordon. See you then.